Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Greg and this is Danny.
We have some time and some money left to finish our dream home.
We don't know those numbers because we're filming this after the fact.
The exact cost for our stem wall is going to be included in a companion video that talks about the stem wall and footer.
In our last video about plumbing, we promised that this video was going to be the concrete slab. It turns out we found some pretty good footage to make a video about our stem wall that we think will help you guys out a lot if you're looking to build your own ICF home.
What could go wrong?
Once I get these ends locked in, shoot. Well, that broke immediately. So the space between the footer concrete and the dirt wall is being filled with this stuff. It's 3/4 inch road base. You can see it's pretty loose and there's moisture in it, which is good. If you get this stuff really wet and you start packing it, I did this little corner over here by hand. It's really hard. Kind of cool. So that's 3/4 inch road base we're filling in this trench with. We have finally made it to the point where we can start laying down the ICF blocks for the stem wall. If you go on to Amvic's website and watch their videos, you always start with the corner, all the corners. No matter how many corners you have, you put those down first. And it doesn't really matter which direction you put them in. This is the long wall, and I have the corner marked on the concrete down there. This is lined up with that corner. I'm going to take this other corner piece and go down to the other side of the wall and set that, which you will not be able to see me do. I have this corner piece here, and I need to go make the mark on that piece down there, and then put a wall piece here, wall piece there, wall piece here, wall piece there, until I meet in the middle. We'll see how we do. These walls on this house are 60 feet by 40 feet. Both are divisible by 4. These blocks are exactly 4 feet. So you would think that if I were to lay them out end to end, they would fit together. However, this is not going in smoothly. On Amvic's website, they don't just recommend, but they almost require that on the first 2 courses you lay down, you zip tie them together. It may be that because I haven't zip tied these together, there is just enough play that the last one isn't fitting quite perfectly. I'm gonna go through, zip tie them all together, starting at the ends, work my way to the middle. Maybe this thing will fit eventually. That's all right. Okay, here we go. In there. Well, that broke immediately. What are the chances, you know? All right, 3rd time's a charm. And that broke immediately. What pieces of crap. My zip ties are all breaking, which puts me kind of at a standstill. My friend Dan showed up to do some earthwork for us, and he had these on his truck. These are metal reinforced. I really appreciate that, Dan. Thank you. I'm gonna have to invest in some of these. So those are as tight as they're gonna be. I'm gonna do this all the way down the wall. Here's the moment of truth to see if this center block actually fits now that they're all zip tied and tightened up together. Yeah, you can see it's so much better. Okay, really tight fit. If I can get these ends just locked into place. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, so that is awesome. And of course I need to do some straightening and little tiny adjustments, but man, first course of the first wall in. Let me see if I can show you why it was important for me to do this wall first. That building is my shop, and beyond it is my house, current house. That's the house, little trailer we live in. I had them line up the face of the shop with the face of my house, and I thought it'd be a good idea to line up the face of my new house with the face of both of those buildings. And that's why I'm doing this wall first. I hope all of that compacting backfill footage is starting to make a little more sense. Since I'm not very good at explaining things, this is a good visual as to why that needed to happen. I'm standing on the dirt that was compacted. The walls are just going to keep growing out here. Where I'm standing, this area needs to be compacted and filled with dirt because this will eventually be a concrete slab. The rebar details on this whole design are pretty minimal. I'm not comfortable only using what the plans called for, but I did confirm with the architect that at the very minimum, I'm going to double up the amount of rebar that is called for in the stem wall portion. What I'm going to do is do 2 number 4 rebar every course of ICF block until we're above ground. I'm going to take one of these 2 pieces of rebar and put it in that slot right there. And then this one will go in that slot right there. These notches here pretty comfortably fit 2 number 4 rebar in one notch. And I'm gonna do that all the way around the whole perimeter here. Now that the first course is on and the rebar is in, it's time to move on to the second course. This is a corner. There's a short side and a long side. Because the first course corner had the long side going that way, I'm going to put the next corner with the long side going that way. When you stagger them in that way, it creates a stronger wall assembly. Let's see if it just clips on there. Oh, wow. Okay, well, in all honesty, I thought that was going to give me more problems than it did. I got to this point in the edit and realized what you're about to see is the concrete pour. But for those of you who need an explanation on what that might mean, I'll give you a brief one here. You saw me stack these ICF blocks. FYI, these have been sitting here for, I'd say, a few months. And if you touch them, you get this film on your skin. I don't think they like to sit out in the open sun for very long. But now the concrete's coming. Where the concrete will go is in here. It's going to fill this void up, encasing that rebar, creating a very strong structure for our stem wall. So essentially that's what's happening. I just wanted to briefly explain what you're about to witness. I feel so stupid. pump is here. The concrete truck just left. This is the first time I've ever ordered concrete by myself, and I did all the measuring. I got it wrong. I got it wrong by 1/2. So the truck ran out and we were halfway done. The only solace that I have is it would have taken 2 trucks no matter what. But because this was unexpected, the second truck wasn't ready because we didn't think we needed it. It's on its way. I'll have to run all of my measurements by the concrete guy, by my friend, before I finalize an order. Here's the lower part of the stem wall, and it's filled with concrete, and you can see we have another layer on in preparation for the concrete pad that we're about to pour. It's going pretty quick, but yeah, we successfully finished the stem wall concrete pour. Thank you so much for following us today as we built our stem wall, filled it with concrete, and now the next video should actually be
Finished concrete floors. What could go wrong?
That's fine, we can make it work.
After the plumbing. Site prep, floor prep, concrete floor prep, pouring our concrete floors. Use any of those.